Hey guys, it is Katie Sharpe here for those of you guys that don't know me. I'm just going to give a minute for anyone that wants to get on live to have a chance to do that. If you are watching the replay, then welcome. I know that 10:30 on a Wednesday morning is probably a weird time to do a class, but being a mom and just having a busy life, this is kind of the time that works for me. So I'm sure a lot of you will be catching the replay, which is obviously totally cool. Let me go ahead and turn the music off. So, just to give you a little bit about my background really quickly before we get started, I am a doTERRA wellness advocate. So, I basically am totally obsessed with essential oils and I love to educate people on them. I love to share them, and that's basically what I'm here to do today is talk about my top 10 essential oils. And these are actually considered the top 10 essential oils pretty much throughout the whole doTERRA oil community and really the entire community out there as well. So to go ahead and get started, we'll go with my number one top oil, which is lavender. So when we think about, what is important when it comes to sourcing oils and how the process is done and like what makes doTERRA different than any other company, I'm going to go into that really quickly because it is really important. The things that I'm going to tell you today about how to use these oils are only pertaining to doTERRA oils. I can't speak for other oil companies, and I can only speak for doTERRA because they are the company that I know and I have experience with. So please just keep that in mind. Not all essential oils from different companies should be taken internally, like I'll tell you today with doTERRA. So you just always need to do your research and make sure you're getting certified pure therapeutic grade oils. So why is doTERRA different? Well, plants grow in their indigenous environments. They yield better, results because the natural elements that are specific to that specific region, promote the best profile of aromatic compounds. If you think about it, you have like the optimal climate, the optimal soil, the optimal humidity, the right amount of sunlight, basically everything that that plant needs to thrive naturally. That's where we go to source our oils. There's definitely other companies out there and it's definitely very possible to grow, your own plants to make essential oils here in the United States or wherever. You can grow them in warehouses, but you're not going to get the same kind of potency and quality and therapeutic benefit. So this is kind of doTERRA's standard and what really sets us apart from a lot of different companies and why we're really just the leading essential oil company in the world. So doTERRA goes into wherever those plants thrive, and they do a lot. They work with farmers. They have exclusive contracts with farmers. So everyone can claim that they have pure lavender plant, for example, because you can grow lavender in your backyard. You can make it into essential oil. It's pure plant matter, so it's pure, right? Well, sure, of course it is, but the lavender plant matter, pure plant matter you're going to get from your backyard compared to the lavender that comes from Bulgaria, where it thrives naturally, or from France, are going to be very different. They're going to have different quality, different therapeutic value, and that's kind of where we get started with doTERRA. So the composition of any plant will vary, greatly based on the location, the climate, the environment. Even the proper seed species must be really carefully selected just so that the distinct molecular profile of the aromatic compounds produced by the plant can be achieved. So something that we really like to focus on is not only is the oil what we say it is, but it's going to deliver the therapeutic benefit that it's supposed to. So we make sure that it's actually effective, not just smells good or just smells like great lavender. We make sure it actually works like lavender is supposed to. Oh, sorry guys, just got a text message. Okay, anyways. So, like I was saying, wherever the plant is grown is definitely a primary factor in determining the therapeutic quality of the oil. So doTERRA has carefully selected the farmers that we work with. These are people that have grown up doing this, that has been families, generations upon generations that have basically mastered the art of growing and distilling these plants. And a lot of times they're doing this in all over the world, and a lot in struggling countries, a lot in very remote locations, and they're the experts. So, doTERRA is very mission-based. We have a really strong focus on basically making the entire world a better place. So doTERRA goes in there and they create exclusive contracts with these farmers and they make sure that they're taken care of. You know, these people have been growing them, like I said, for years and years and years. So doTERRA will give them, like, you know, steady pay. Will bring in water, clean schools, medical place like clinics. You know, really, you name it, doTERRA kind of goes in there and just betters the entire community and make sure that they get paid fair wages. So there really is no difference to them. You know, if people are financially motivated, they're going to probably cut corners a lot of the time and do whatever. So for example, if we were just paying these farmers by how much they were producing, then, you know, I'm sure they would start cutting corners and they would start doing stuff to produce more because they're gained by that way. But doTERRA has promised these farmers that no matter if they make, you know, X amount or a much higher amount of the same oil, we'll pay them the same as long as the quality and the purity and everything is to our standards. So I think that's really nice. It kind of keeps the integrity of the process. So, you know, it's something that I always think about. Isn't it just a really great feeling to know that, you know, the bottle of essential oil that you use today, that I use today, is not only benefiting me and you, but also the person who carefully grew it for us, also their families. It really is just a chain effect, and it's a chain effect of awesomeness. So it's something that makes me really, really excited. So I just wanted to kind of cover that a little bit. Along with one other thing that I do want to say is that I am not a doctor. I am just someone who loves essential oils. I have done a lot of studying on them, but I cannot give you medical advice. Anything I say here is just, you know, for you to take, and if you want to use it, that's up to you, but I'm not treating or giving you any kind of medical advice like that. So anyways, let's get started with the number one oil, my favorite. Oh, whoopsie. Lost my camera. There we go. All right, you guys see me. Good, good, awesome. Okay, so lavender. Let's talk lavender. Lavender is probably one of the most well-known essential oils. I mean, I'm sure everybody's heard of lavender. I'm sure most of you are familiar with the benefits of lavender as well. It's very calming. It's definitely known, and it's, you know, aromatherapy for helping promote sleep. It's a very gentle oil. It's indigenous to the Provence region of France, and as of recently, also in Bulgaria, where doTERRA just opened a new distillery too. So we're also getting our lavender there. The high altitudes at which lavender is grown results in the plant having higher amounts of certain compounds like sesquiterpenes, which thereby increases its helpful benefits. So you really can't duplicate, you know, the high elevation, the rocky soil, and Mediterranean growing conditions that are specific to this region anywhere else. This is why you get the best lavender from this area. And another thing to mention is that doTERRA has exclusive contracts with all of these farmers, so we are the only ones that are able to get this quality oil, which I think is really cool. They are not allowed to just go make them for just anybody, which I think is great. So, like I mentioned before, you know, although it does grow in the United States, you could go grow a lavender plant in your backyard. The qualities are not going to be as beneficial as they were if you were to get them from France or Bulgaria, because again, the growing conditions would not, you know, be the same as they are in the native lands wherever they come from. And then going back into a little bit of history about lavender, you know, it's been used forever since the ancient Romans, ancient Egyptians. They used it as perfume and also for bathing and cooking. Lavender can be used for cooking. I'm sure some of you may know that. It's really great. You can make like a lavender lemonade that can help with like tension and stress and headaches, stuff like that. I love to use it in like sweets and like baking and stuff like that. Lavender icing, kind of really cool. It's very versatile. It's one of the most versatile oils out there, and it's considered the Swiss Army knife of oils. So, little fun fact, it takes 35 pounds of lavender flowers to produce just one bottle of lavender essential oil. 35 pounds of lavender flowers. So I think that's pretty amazing. I mean, and that kind of goes to show you like just how potent all of these oils are. I mean, they're highly, 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 highly concentrated pure plant matter. You have basically the essence of the plant that holds all the properties of, you know, its healing properties. I mean, everything. Basically, all the goodness that a plant has, we have it in these little bottles, which I think is pretty damn cool. Okay, so I'm going to go on to, oh, you know what? Actually, I'm going to talk about lavender for a little bit more. It is really important, so I probably should kind of focus on this one because it is the most used oil out there. So some of the uses for lavender, obviously the most known is calming, relaxation, sleep. Great for babies. It's always good for babies. It's very gentle oil to help them calming and stuff like that. It's also very soothing to the skin. So if you have any kind of, burns, rashes, cuts, razor burn, I know a lot of us ladies deal with razor burn and it really sucks. Lavender can really help with that. Say you're, in the kitchen and you grab the pan and you burn your fingers. If you put lavender on it immediately, you can really, really ease the pain and kind of soothe it with the lavender, which is great. It's really good for sleep, like I mentioned. You can make a spray. You can just drop a little bit on your pillows, your sheets at night. You can diffuse it. Diffusing is a really great way to use oils. When you use a diffuser, you don't want to use a regular humidifier. You need to make sure that you're using an essential oil diffuser because you don't want the oils, they're so pure, you don't want them to break down the plastic that you would find in a standard humidifier. But diffusing, especially at night, is a really great way to use lavender. Like I mentioned, it's really good for cooking. You could use it to soften citrus flavors and like lemon sauces for, say, like chicken or fish or like marmalades, citrus salads. It can add a flavorful twist to all kinds of desserts like that. Like I said, lavender lemonade. There really is just, there's a million uses for it. It really is kind of awesome. One of my favorite uses that I like to pass on to all my lady friends is a drop of lavender into your mascara is great. It actually promotes lash growth and it makes your eyelashes a lot healthier. You could also add a drop of rosemary as well because rosemary is really, really well known for promoting hair growth and things like that. So it's also good for your lashes. So along with the relaxation part, you can add a little bit to your bath. Whenever you add essential oils to your bath, you want to use them combined with Epsom salts, and you want to make sure that you use about a half a cup of Epsom salts and then add just a few drops. Because these are so powerful and so potent, you really don't need more than like 1 to 2 drops. Like you're really just wasting your oil at that point. I know a lot of us in our society, and I am totally guilty of it, will think, well, if 1 drop works, then obviously like 10 drops are going to work really well. Not necessarily. The saying with oils is less is more often. So say you're putting it in the bath, you really only need like 1 or 2 drops. You can certainly put like 10 drops in your stuff, but you're just wasting your oils at that point. And why would you want to do that? Seriously. So lavender is also a natural antihistamine. So for those of you that deal with seasonal allergies and threats, you can combine it with lemon and peppermint, and it will knock that right out. No need for Claritin or anything like that. And another great thing is and one of my personal favorites is to diffuse it for yoga, meditation, that kind of thing. And as I mentioned, it's always great for babies for that same reason. So lavender blends well with bright citrus oils. So you're thinking stuff like, bergamot, wild orange, citrus bliss, which is a blend that is amazing. It smells like creamsicle. It's a doTERRA blend. I love it. But the light aroma of lavender also makes it a really good comparison to some of the herbaceous oils, kind of like marjoram or basil. I actually like it a lot with rosemary as well. Rosemary is one of my favorite essential oils, probably because I have a really bad memory, and rosemary is really great for that. So maybe that's why I'm so drawn to rosemary. But I love to combine it with lavender in my diffuser. As a matter of fact, I have my diffuser going back here, and that's actually what I have in there is a little bit of lavender, a little bit of rosemary, and a little bit of wild orange. And it smells great. It keeps me focused. Rosemary is great for whenever you're studying and stuff like that. So right now with me focusing, I do apologize. I am reading off a little bit of notes just because I don't want to miss out on any information I'm giving you guys. And there's a lot. So there's more to oils than just the physical, aspects of it, what it can do for you physically. Each oil and blend has emotional benefits as well, which I think is really fascinating. I have this book that's called Emotions and Essential Oils. I don't know if you can see that. This book is amazing. You can look up any oil and then it can tell you what it's for, how it's used emotionally, and it's really great. So I'll share with you the emotional benefits of each of these oils as well as we go through them. So lavender is known as the oil of communication. It aids verbal expression and addresses a deep fear of being seen or heard. And so people that need lavender tend to hide within, blocking off forms of self-expression. And while they may go through the outward motions of outward expression, the expression is not connected to their heart and soul. So they may just be doing something that they aren't really feeling, don't really, stand behind, that kind of thing. It also encourages emotional honesty and insists that one speak their innermost thoughts and desires, liberating people from their own self-inflicted emotional prison. And seriously, who wants to be in any kind of prison, especially an emotional prison in your head? So lavender will help you with that. A little recipe that I wanted to share with you guys for those of you that have kids, babies, or expecting. One of my favorite ways to use it is a lavender diaper cream. You just need a 1/4 cup of virgin coconut oil, 15 drops of lavender essential oil. You can also do 10 drops of melaleuca essential oil, which is also tea tree, and we will cover that. It's really great for anything skin related along with lavender. Just keep it in a glass measuring cup in a saucepan and just melt it kind of like a double boiler just to heat it up. You can even use the microwave if you want to. And then just add your lavender and melaleuca and keep it in your glass container. It's going to turn into like a, not like a salve really, but like kind of a thicker consistency, and then you just leave it in a cool place and then apply whenever needed, and you have your natural diaper rash cream, and you don't have to use anything with toxins, chemicals. You don't have to go to the store and spend money on it. It's really great. And you know, if you were to sit down and look at if you were to sit down and look at the ingredients and actually maybe look a couple of them up for a lot of the stuff, the baby products that you see in the store, you'd probably be really freaked out and disappointed. So I've resorted to making a lot of my own stuff, and it makes me feel a lot better. It makes me feel like I know what I'm putting on my daughter, I know what I'm putting on myself, and it's just a nice feeling. It feels empowering. Okay, so let's move on to oil number 2, which is lemon. Lemon is the #1 selling essential oil. It's super versatile. It can be used for everything. Obviously to clean. I love to use it to clean, but there's so many other uses as well, which I'll cover. So lemon is indigenous to Sicily. You know, the rich soil conditions, the humid air from the Mediterranean Sea, the rocky mountainous terrain all contribute to the sweet lemons that have made this region so famous for their citrus production. You know, they're very known for their lemons. So there's a saying in Sicily even that lemons aren't real lemons unless they're Sicilian. So we get the best lemons from the best place, and that's why it's the best. That's pretty much it. So, you know, although lemon oil can be acquired in the U.S., Argentina, and other regions for a much lower price, so, you know, doTERRA as a company could save a little money and go somewhere else for their lemons that may be a little bit cheaper. But really, they're committed to sourcing our oils, you know, from indigenous regions that produce the highest quality oil. It may be more expensive to get our oils in Sicily, but we're getting a better quality. And that's what is really, really, really the driving force behind this entire company. You know, you can go buy oils at like Whole Foods and whatever, but to be honest with you, unless you just want to smell something that smells good, you're totally wasting your money because you're not going to get the therapeutic benefit. And aromatherapy is not therapy if you don't have any therapeutic benefit coming from the oil. So I really hate to disappoint any of you who have been doing that, but you're pretty much just wasting your money. You get what you pay for, basically. So some of the uses and benefits of lemon, it's really cleansing, it's really detoxing, so adding it to your water throughout the day is great. It's cold pressed from the rind of the lemon, so because of that, you don't have to worry about, you know, dealing with like tooth enamel or any kind of like acidity. The oil itself does not contain that acidity or anything. It comes from the rind, not from the pulp. So you actually don't have to worry about that. It's a safe alternative to drinking regular lemon in your water if you're worried about your teeth or anything like that. It's super cleansing. It can remove basically anything. So if you're dealing with any kind of sticky residue, like you take a sticker off of something and all that stuff is there, like on your car, which has happened to me and it sucks, or you have gum in your hair, you know, anything like that. Having a daughter, having a toddler in the house, I'm kind of using this a lot to deal with that. But basically, you can just use a little bit of lemon. It gets rid of glue, grease, anything like that. I mean, it's really, really great. Gum, all of that. It can also be used as a household cleaner for your bathrooms, countertops, things like that. If you diffuse it, again, with your diffuser, it will actually cleanse the air. So, you know, a lot of citrus oils are really cleansing, and lemon is like the #1. It's awesome. Kind of explains why you see a lot of like over-the-counter cleaning products and stuff, and they're always lemon scented and stuff like that, but they usually don't even have lemon in it. So they're just kind of tricking you into thinking that it's a lot cleaner than it really is. So this is the real thing. If you want to do this, I just do a little bit of lemon, probably like 10 drops or so in a glass bottle, and add some water and then maybe a little bit of like white vinegar, and you're good to go. If you do use lemon topically on your skin, I do want to let you know that is photosensitive, so it can cause a little bit of irritation. If you go out into the sun, you usually want to wait about 24 hours or so before you head out into the sun when you use a citrus oil on your skin. Typically, though, it's very rare for anyone to have reactions to essential oils. Actually, as a matter of fact, they just said at our doTERRA yearly convention this year, which is back in September, they actually just said that I think it's 0.07 or 0.007 of people who use doTERRA ever have any adverse reactions and side effects. And usually that typically is just like a small redness, rash, irritation. So if that ever does happen to you, say you have really sensitive skin, always start off smaller and work your way up. Always, always, always dilute. Especially when you're first starting off and you don't really know how your skin's going to react, you want to use fractionated coconut oil. doTERRA actually sells some. It's like $4. You can also get it at like your Whole Foods or Healthy Home Store or anything like that. But you want to always diffuse any oil you put on your skin first, just to make sure. If for any reason, say for example, you are having some kind of reaction, or say like you got peppermint in your eye or something like that, your normal reaction would probably be to turn to water to wash it off, because that's usually what you would do with everything. Not with oils. Water is going to drive the oil further into your skin. Water and oil do not go together. They repel, So when you do that, you're just pushing the oil into your skin. You want to use your coconut oil or any other kind of carrier oil. Olive oil even would work, and that's how you want to do it. So you want to apply the coconut oil onto the area, wipe it off, and then just keep doing it. And as you do it every time, it's going to disperse those essential oil particles, and it's going to take that away, and then more and more you'll be fine. So anyways, back to lemon. Along with all citrus oils, lemon's really good for fighting feelings of depression, sadness, things like that. A lot of people deal with that in the winter, especially I do. If you happen to catch my my little self-introductory video that I did yesterday, I kind of opened up a little bit with the fact that I have bipolar disorder. And so I am always aware of my emotions and kind of gauging them and stuff. And a lot of times in the winter, I'll kind of get a little bit like the winter blues. And lemon really, really helps me. I diffuse it constantly, and it really helps to keep my spirits lifted. And I want you to realize that when it comes to these oils and like how they work and stuff like that, it's not just because I smell it and like it smells pretty and it makes me feel better. There's a lot of science behind it all. Every oil has tons of like compounds, and these tiny, tiny, tiny little particle compounds are what react in our bodies and give us these therapeutic benefits. So it just goes a little deeper than I think a lot of people tend to realize. So like I said, it's also really great along with lavender to treat seasonal allergies. Lemon, lavender, peppermint are called the allergy trio. For seasonal threats, I'm sorry, not allergies, but threats. Not supposed to say allergies. But you can just skip the Claritin this year, and you can just use lemon, lavender, peppermint. My husband has terrible allergies, and it has been a lifesaver. You can diffuse it. You can add a few drops to your water and drink it. You could get a veggie cap and put them in a veggie cap and just take it like a pill. You can literally cut out your need for the over-the-counter seasonal medicine like that, and it's nice. It's nice to have natural solutions like this. So, little fun fact about lemon. In 1 year, a single lemon tree has the potential to produce between 500 and 600 pounds of lemons. So I've been really wanting to get a lemon tree for my backyard, but maybe I'll wait until I'm a little more prepared to deal with a whole lot of lemons. But it basically takes about typically 45 lemons to fill a 15 milliliter bottle of lemon essential oil. So that's pretty cool. So, like I said, these things are highly, highly concentrated, and 45 lemons into one little bottle with none of the acidity, none of the roughness on your esophagus, none of that. I drink this all the time. Whenever you use your oils and you're going to use them in your water, you definitely want to always be sure to use either a glass bottle or stainless steel. Even BPA plastic can be broken down by these oils because they are so pure, they're strong, they're concentrated. So you just want to make sure you're using something safe. So like for example, I use my Yeti tumbler. It's stainless steel and it works for me, but I also have a glass water bottle that I take on the go with me as well. So it's kind of just, you know, whatever works for you. So going into the emotional benefits of lemon and what it can really do for you emotionally, like I said, it does really help with feelings of depression and sadness, that kind of thing. It is surprisingly, it is really, really great for children that are struggling with focusing in school. It aids concentration. It teaches individuals to be mentally present by focusing on one thing at a time, which I could use because I'm a little all over the place like all the time. So yeah, lemon is great for that. It dispels confusion, it promotes clarity, it restores energy, mental flexibility, the drive to complete a project. So if you're lacking in your motivation for something, lemon can actually help you with that. You could diffuse it. You could even, this is what I call having a personal diffuser when you're on the go. You just do a drop. Let's see if I can get it to come out. Oh, well, my lemon doesn't want to come out. Looks like my lemon's almost empty. Well, you would just put a drop in your hand and go like this and go like that. And that is basically your own personal diffuser on the go. You can use that with almost any of your oils, and it's amazing. So it's especially helpful, surprisingly as well, in cases of eating disorders. And I actually didn't know this until I was researching this to share some of these facts with you guys. And I had no idea, but it clears self-judgment, fears, and insecurities while restoring confidence. So not just with eating disorders, but really anyone who struggles with that. And honestly, who doesn't struggle with that a little bit? Let's be honest. So, going on, I have a little DIY recipe for you with lemon. It's a do-it-yourself lemon dish soap. It's super easy to make. I love it. So you just need 2 cups of unscented Castile soap, like the Dr. Bronner's. You want to do 20 drops of lime essential oil if you have it. You can also just do 20 drops of lemon. I like to do lime and lemon just because I love the smell, but you can do lime, lemon, and you can even add a little bit of citrus bliss if you like, or wild orange. But basically that's it. You just need a little bit of your unscented soap. You need a little bit of your lemon, and that's it. You just want to fill, sorry guys, I keep getting text messages. I'm a very popular person, clearly. So fill a large clean bottle with your Castile soap and dilute it according to instructions if you're using like a concentrate or anything. But really you just put it in, you know, a bottle, maybe add a little bit of water and then add your essential oils and you're done. Just like that. And then you only need like 1 to 2 tablespoons added to your dishwater to use. Okay, so going on to the oil that got everything started for me, peppermint. So quickly, what got me into oils was when I was pregnant, I dealt with a lot of headaches, like a lot of headaches. I was really miserable. And they were trying to prescribe me like prescription Tylenol and like all this stuff, and I really didn't want to take any of that. So someone told me about peppermint essential oil. And I was like, yeah, okay, whatever. I'm sure that'll work real well. So then I get it. I rub some like on my temple and across my forehead. I swear to God, my headache was gone in like 10 minutes. After that, I was like, okay, so these oils definitely work. So I definitely need to do a little bit more researching into this. So that's kind of what started this whole rabbit hole that I fell down that led me to you today, where we are right now. So let's talk a little bit about peppermint, one of my favorite oils. And it's so versatile. This is one that I love to keep in my purse like all the time. So it's a hybrid of the watermint and spearmint plants, just a little bit about the plant. It actually is sourced here in the United States in Washington State in the Pacific Northwest, which is an ideal climate for peppermint because of the high amounts of rainfall that they get each year. It gives the peppermint a high menthol content, which gives it its like sweet minty aroma and its flavor. Obviously, I'm sure everyone knows what peppermint tastes like and how awesome peppermint is. Just 1 drop of peppermint added to like some hot chocolate or to your coffee or to a smoothie. Basically anything like that is really, really amazing. I just love it. So the plant's first recorded appearance and usage dates back to actually 1000 BC when dried peppermint leaves were found entombed in ancient pyramids. So the Egyptians knew what's up. They have been using essential oils the whole time. They used frankincense, they used lavender, they used peppermint, they knew what's up. So a fun fact about peppermint is that its scientific name, I might get this wrong, is Mentha piperita, if I said that right. But basically in ancient Greek mythology, Mentha, who is a nymph, was transformed by Queen Persephone into a sweet-smelling mint. And that is where the name peppermint derives from. Kind of interesting. You learn something new every day. So, like I mentioned, peppermint, headaches, awesome. That's all you need. If you are nauseous, so basically peppermint is like a pregnant girl's best friend because it treats everything from lack of energy to headaches to feeling nauseous. So that's kind of like the trifecta, I feel like, that I dealt with at least. So if you're feeling nauseous, you can even add it to a cup of water, just one drop, and drink it. You could take a drop of peppermint oil, put it to the roof of your mouth. That will also do the same thing. You can literally just take it. Oh, God, that smells so good. You could literally take it and just smell it straight from the bottle. You can diffuse it, any of those options. You can also make it into a natural healthy mouthwash, which I actually think is really cool because there's a lot of chemicals in mouthwash and they really are not that great for you. So you could just mix a drop of peppermint and you can maybe add even a drop of lemon essential oil or the On Guard blend, which we'll talk about. If you want into your thing, swirl it around for a healthy, refreshing mouthwash. And like I said, it's great for cooking and drinks as well. Cocktails are even really great for essential oils. Wild orange is a great oil for cocktails. Peppermint's always good. You know, think about a white Russian with a drop of peppermint in it. I think I'm going to have to try that soon, now that I'm thinking about it. So, anyway, like I said, it's a natural energy booster. One of my absolute favorite ways to use peppermint is to take a drop of wild orange and peppermint. They go really well together. And I've done this before, so you guys might have seen me do this. So 1 drop peppermint, 2 drops wild orange. Go like this. And just breathe it in. Oh my God. It's like crack. It will wake you up. Oh my God. Just don't put your hands too close to your eyes or your eyes are going to start watering, which I think mine are about to. But it's amazing. It's a really, really good pick-me-up. It's something you can do on the go. You know, whenever my daughter Sadie, who actually today she's dealing with some stuffiness, I will just take a little bit of peppermint on my hands and I just kind of hold it close to her face and I don't get it too close, but I let her kind of breathe it in and it'll help with that stuffiness because we all know that babies do not like to have their noses cleaned out. Not at all. So that's a really great way to use it as well. And then another way for all you people who may have bugs in your house, all of us in the South, I know, have to deal with them all the time. Really, a lot of bugs and spiders seriously dislike peppermint. It's a great bug repellent. So what you can do is you can try to put like 1 to 3 drops on a cotton ball and then position them maybe in the corners of your bathroom, your bedroom, your kitchen, under your cabinets, wherever you think that these little pesty bugs and whatever might be. And the peppermint will keep them away. Like I said, you can use these oils for anything. So another way that I actually am going to a bar class later, like you know, with the ballet bar and everything, you can add a little bit of peppermint to a glass spray bottle with some water, and it can be a cooling spray when you're working out. So for those of you that are athletes or do a lot of cardio, or just get hot or live in the South in the summertime, just adding a little peppermint to water in a glass spray bottle and you're good to go. I think that's really nice. I do want to say that peppermint is a very strong oil, so you can get a possible skin sensitivity. So always dilute first and keep out of reach of children, of course, just like any of your oils. Although they're safe and non-toxic, obviously you do not want them in the hands of a young child because they don't need to get it all over themselves. And also avoid contact, obviously, with your eyes, things like that. It is peppermint after all. So to go into the emotional benefits of peppermint, it's called the oil of the buoyant heart. It invigorates the mind, body, and spirit and reminds individuals that life can be happy and that there is nothing to fear. It lifts individuals out of their emotional trials for a short reprieve. So the power of peppermint can be most felt in times of discouragement or depression. So it's actually also a really great oil for that as well. So when you're feeling like disheartened or discouraged, peppermint can help you rediscover the joy of being alive. So if that's something that you feel like you need, then you need peppermint. It can really assist an individual in regaining strength needed to face their emotional reality. So peppermint's really powerful, and I love it. I think that if all of you guys, if you haven't tried it, then you should. It's amazing. So let's keep moving on. The next oil, top 10 oil, is frankincense. Okay, Y'all have probably heard me talk about frankincense a whole lot because I am obsessed with it. It is one of the best oils out there. It's one of the most rare oils. It is actually called the king of oils because the saying is, when in doubt, use frankincense. Frankincense trumps all. Frankincense can help you on so many levels. It's really, really great for cellular health and cellular activity. It can cross the blood-brain barrier, and it helps repair cells that have maybe mutated or are not functioning properly. And another great thing about it is that it can also discourage replication of mutated cells. So it can help prevent diseases from spreading and things like that. Certain diseases that involve those kinds of things, like the mutated cells and whatnot. So frankincense is sourced in Somalia. And like I said, for thousands of years, frankincense has been used. It goes back to the ancient Egyptians and everything. And the frankincense resins have been harvested in Somalia from the wild boswellia trees. They typically grow best in sandy soil, and they produce small, like resin, like sappy tears is what they're called. So harvesting frankincense is actually a really delicate process. It actually takes about 5 months, and it takes really precise planning. And a lot of these trees where these farmers harvest are in very remote locations. So the frankincense harvesters have to travel really long distances, leaving behind their families and their communities, and they often live in caves along the way as they harvest frankincense resins from these remote locations. So, that's some dedication. So these are the people that we have getting our frankincense for us and providing it for us. This is their livelihood. This is what they have been taught to do. This is what their families have been doing for generations upon generations. And we are paying them fair wages. We're giving them a better life, which I just think is so powerful. It's one of the reasons I really, really love this company. So a fun fact about frankincense or boswellia tree is that it can produce a couple pounds of resin each year. So if the trees are properly cared for, the tree can produce resins for hundreds of years. But it's really important to make sure that we protect our resources and not just, deplete them totally. So doTERRA practices sustainable, sourcing and everything like that. So we try to protect the plants and make sure that these trees will be able to provide us with oil for a long, long time. Some of the benefits of frankincense. One of my favorites is really great for skin. Add it just like a drop to your moisturizer. It can help with dark spots. It can help with wrinkles and just all over like glowing of your skin and everything. It's great. If you are a yoga enthusiast or you like to meditate, which I do. I just started meditating. I'm pretty proud of myself about that. But if you are, you can diffuse frankincense during these experiences, and it will aid you in focusing your intention for the day. It can really help you kind of get into it. And the fragrances of frankincense can also bring added satisfaction, peace, relaxation, and even feelings of just straight up overall wellness to your morning routine. Who knew? So one of its most powerful benefits is the ability to promote health, like I mentioned, from a cellular level. So if you just take 1 to 2 drops in a veggie capsule, this natural supplement will help support, really healthy cellular function. It's kind of one of those things where it's like it sets a really solid, healthy foundation for you, which I think is really important. And like I mentioned, it can cross the blood-brain barrier. There's a lot of things that frankincense can do that I think is just really powerful and that some other essential oils can't really do. So the chemical components of frankincense that result in extremely powerful aroma can also help in dispelling negative feelings like stress. So if you're feeling like the pressures of life are weighing you down, apply some frankincense to the bottom of your feet, and the soothing sensation and aroma will just kind of bring on feelings of relaxation and balance, and you'll feel much more grounded and probably a lot better. So it contains properties that help, revitalize, beautify the skin. A lot of that has to do with the fact that it works so well on a cellular level. And it blends well with citrus oils like lime, lemon, wild orange, and also other oils like cypress, lavender, geranium, rose, sandalwood, ylang ylang, and clary sage, especially in the diffuser. Those are also great smells. I absolutely love, love, love frankincense. As far as the emotional side of it, it is the oil of truth. It reveals deceptions and false truths and invites individuals to let go of lower vibrations, lies, deceptions, and negativity. It is a powerful cleanser of spiritual darkness. Through connecting the soul with its inner light, this oil reveals the truth. It's a very divine oil. I'm sure those of you that are familiar with the Bible and everything, it's definitely mentioned in there a few times, I believe. So yeah, it's something that really connects your spirit with the higher powers that be, I guess. It also creates a healthy attachment to one's father. So this could be the heavenly father. This could be like your literal father. But it helps create a healthy attachment and insists in spiritual awakening and helps an individual feel fatherly love. So I think that's pretty cool. When one feels abandoned or forgotten, frankincense reminds them that they are loved and protected. It shields the body and soul from negative influences and assists the soul in its spiritual evolution. It enhances the practice. I kind of mentioned this before, but it enhances the practices and prayer of prayer and meditation. It's an oil that opens, spiritual channels that allow an individual to connect to a higher power, whether that be God, the universe, whatever you believe. It just helps you kind of get into that zone. It helps overcome feelings of abandonment, feeling spiritually disconnected, distant from one's father, unprotected, spiritual darkness. And it encourages feelings of being enlightened, loved, protected, wisdom, and a positive connection with one's father. So going on to one of the next top oils. So when it comes to the top 10 oils, we have, we basically have 6 essential oils, single essential oils, and we have 4 blends that we're going to cover. So we're almost done covering the essential oils, and then we'll go into the blends, and then we'll be all done. So oregano. I don't have too much to say about oregano. Oregano is really, really powerful. It's really high in antioxidants and is really, really great for boosting the immune system. It is sourced in Turkey, and the oregano plant really grows best in dry to medium moisture and well-drained soils, and it thrives in full sun. So the essential oil, the doTERRA oregano essential oil, is derived from the leaves of the plant. Like I mentioned earlier about some other oils, it's considered a hot or spicy oil, so it always needs to be very diluted. You want to use coconut oil or any other carrier oil. You don't want it to cause those burning sensations. Other hot oils like that include cinnamon, clove, cassia, and thyme. So if you're ever using any of those, definitely be sure to dilute to be safe. Safety is really important. Just because this isn't medication you get prescribed by a doctor or whatever doesn't mean that it's not powerful. You need to respect these oils. You need to understand that they are really powerful and you need to use them properly, and safety is really important. I always try to push safety first or third. Just kidding, first. So, some uses and benefits of oregano. Immune support. It is like the best. So you can take 1 drop daily just to maintain a healthy immune function to help support your immune system. You can also take it more frequently whenever seasonal threats are high, or maybe you feel like you're getting sick and you need a little bit more of a boost to your immunity. You can put 2 drops in like a veggie cap, and that's probably like the best way to do that. Like I said, it's spicy and herbaceous, and it's really great to cook with. It adds the perfect flavor to spaghetti, pizza, sauces, roasts, pretty much everything. You do want to keep in mind, like say you're making a big batch of spaghetti, you only need like not even maybe 1 drop of oregano. It is so concentrated. Please do not try to make some spaghetti and drop like 20 drops of oregano, because you're going to regret it. Basically, it's just really, really, really strong. So when your Italian recipes call for ground oregano, you can just simply replace it with 1 drop of oregano essential oil. And 1 drop of oregano can replace 1 tablespoon of ground oregano. So 1 drop to 1 tablespoon to kind of give you an idea for whatever you're cooking. It actually can also support a healthy respiratory function. So along with your immune function, you can also use that to kind of open the airways. And like I mentioned before, it's a really rich source of antioxidants. So as you may know, antioxidants are pretty essential to the body. They protect the body from the oxidation of free radicals and molecules and things like that. You don't want free radicals. They lead to damaged cells. That's where frankincense comes in. But, so to help support your body with antioxidants and promote a healthy response to oxidation and free radicals, just take oregano internally by diluting a drop in water and drinking, or putting 2 drops in a veggie capsule and ingesting. It's also really great for digestion. It promotes the secretion of digestive juices. So if you're experiencing any occasional digestive stuff, you can use oregano for that. We do have a blend called Digestion that I'll talk about in a minute that I think is actually way more beneficial, but sometimes you have to use what you have, and oregano is definitely a good option. And this is actually really interesting. I was really surprised by this. So, in a recent study, a group of Brazilian researchers reported that in at least the cases they were looking at, oregano and peppermint oil worked better when used together. Um, and who would have thought oregano and peppermint? I never would have thought twice about that. When two different substances like oregano and peppermint oil work to create a combined effect that is greater than the effects of the individual substance on their own, that effect is called synergism. So when using oregano essential oil, use it alongside peppermint for a more powerful effect. It basically like amplifies the effects of each other. Oregano blends well with peppermint, obviously, and lavender, basil, rosemary, bergamot, cypress, cedarwood, and melaleuca, also known as tea tree, especially in the diffuser. Oregano is the oil of humility and non-attachment. So it removes blocks, clears negativity, and cuts away negative attachments. Very powerful, and it can even be described sometimes as like forceful or intense, and it addresses someone's need to be right. So I think we all have somebody in our life that feels like they need to be right all the time, and they need oregano. So the individual in need of oregano may attempt to convert other people to their own fixed opinions. Their strong will can make them unteachable and unwilling to budge. And, the oil itself is very resolute, and it has the power to break through a strong will. So for those people that are really strong-willed and stubborn and don't want to budge, and I know we all know someone like that, just give them a little bit of oregano. That'll straighten them right out. So it also dispels materialism and attachment that hinders an individual's growth and process. When using oregano, a person may feel encouraged to end a toxic relationship, quit an oppressive job, or end a lifelong addiction. So it's also really helpful with addiction, which I think is awesome, because I don't think we really have enough natural solutions or things to help people that are struggling with that. It really encourages true spirituality by inviting the soul to live in non-attachment. I probably need some oregano, to be honest. Maybe I'll start using it a little more often. So moving on to another very powerful oil, which is melaleuca, also known as tea tree oil. There are about 250 species of melaleuca, but it's most typically found in Australia, which is where we source our melaleuca. It's extracted from the leaves of the melaleuca shrubs or trees, which have a strong aroma when rubbed. So if you've ever smelled tea tree oil, it has a very woodsy smell, I guess you could say. Basically, it's not something that I would really want to put in my diffuser, to put it that way. I mean, it doesn't really smell that great. It smells really strong and powerful, but it's not a pretty smell, I guess you could say. But it's so powerful that it doesn't matter. It's totally worth it, and you definitely need to have it. Everyone should have it. Melaleuca is really great for basically everything skin related, anything that you can think of, fungal related, athlete's foot, blemishes. If you're breaking out, you can just put a little bit of melaleuca there. It's also really great for ear discomfort, especially in young children and babies that tend to get the stuff with their ears where they're all crying and pulling on their ear. Just put a little melaleuca with some coconut oil just kind of around the outside of the ear, and it will take care of it. You may even be able to avoid unnecessary medications and things like that if you use that first. Pretty cool. I've had some friends that had some really great experiences with that. So dating back into like the historical thing with melaleuca, it was a daily necessity for the early natives and the Aborigines in Australia. They would apply the leaves directly to the skin for a cooling effect. So, like I said, it's a truly versatile oil. The oil itself holds over 92 different compounds and has literally limitless applications. It's good for immune support. It's good for skin. It's good for ear infections. I mean, whatever, you name it, it can help. So a little fun fact about melaleuca. Like I said, it's from Australia. I don't know if I'm going to say this right, so forgive me if I don't. But the Bungwalbin Creek in Australia is surrounded by Australian tea trees, which is the melaleuca plant, and is held sacred by the Aborigines. As the sticky tea tree oil leaves fell into the creek, they created waters that natives still consider magical waters today. So that's kind of cool. Magical. All oils are magical, I think. So some uses and benefits of melaleuca. I mentioned a couple already. Hair care. A lot of people use tea tree for hair care because of its topical cleansing, rejuvenating, purifying properties. It can certainly help with lice outbreaks for people with children that have to deal with that. You definitely could use melaleuca added to shampoo, and that could definitely help take care of that. And unlike chemical-ridden hair care products, Melaleuca essential oil offers a really soft and gentle element to any hair care routine, which I think is really great. Diffusing it can help purify and freshen the air in your home. When diffusing it on your own, be sure to use just 3 or 4 drops in your diffuser of choice. I would probably do your research if you have cats, because I believe that Melaleuca is not to be diffused around cats. I can actually maybe do another class where I'll share more about oils for pets and things like that, but just do your research as far as that goes. I'm pretty sure that Melaleuca is a no-go for cats. But like I said, many people are not diffusing Melaleuca either. I know I'm not. It does not smell that great. But a lot of people use it for skin, for its purifying, toning properties. Like I said, it's really good for like outbreaks, things like that. Because of these properties, the Melaleuca oil, can be used to soothe occasional skin irritations. It really goes well with lavender, because lavender is good for that as well. So, consider adding maybe 1 or 2 drops of tea tree oil or Melaleuca to your facial cleanser or your moisturizer for added cleansing properties. If you are familiar with doTERRA, we have the Virage skincare line, and actually the facial cleanser has Melaleuca in it. So even when you are using it on your face, you can kind of smell the Melaleuca in it, but it works amazingly. That's the product that I use, and I love it. So it's a good choice for homemade cleaners as well. I don't know if you've noticed a little pattern here, but pretty much every oil I've talked to is great for cleaning your home. So they all have very antibacterial properties, anti-everything properties. So you can really, sometimes you just have to use what you have on hand. So if you have some of this stuff, you can use it. It's totally fine. Because of its ability to protect against environmental and seasonal threats, it's a great household cleaner. If you want an effective household cleaner, just do a few drops of Melaleuca to a spray bottle, glass spray bottle with water, and then just use on surfaces around the house. You can mix it with, any of the citrus oils to kind of boost the cleansing effects as well. And then the emotional benefits of Melaleuca. It's called the oil of energetic boundaries. So it clears negative emotional baggage. It specifically releases codependent and parasitic relationships, which could be people, microorganisms in the body, or even spiritual beings. It helps break ties in these kinds of relationships so that new, healthy connections can be formed that honor one's personal space and boundaries. So it kind of helps you break away from like negative, toxic people, and it makes room for better people, I guess. So it helps the individual recognize the parts of themselves that invited and allowed these kinds of relationships to exist in the first place. So, if you're kind of going through something in your life where maybe you're dealing with like toxic relationships or friends, Melaleuca can help bring to the forefront the rooted issue of why you even let these people in. I know if you go into a lot of stuff with a lot of people, for example, say somebody had a father who didn't treat them right or was absent or something, and then they grow up and they tend to date men that do the same thing to them. That kind of situation, Melaleuca would be great to kind of help that person see how they even got there in the first place, and then it can help them release and then make room for new positive experiences and people, which I think is kind of cool. It encourages individuals to release all forms of self-betrayal, including allowing others to take advantage of yourself, or of your time, your energy, your talents, letting others feed on your energy, not standing up for yourself, feeling responsible for the problems of others. I think everybody's kind of dealt with that a little bit. I know that I've definitely felt like I was responsible for the problems of others, and that it was up to me to make somebody feel better or something like that. And really, ultimately, in the end, it's not. You can be there to support someone, you can be there to help them reach that spot, but ultimately that is up to them. It is not up to you to be responsible for someone else's problems or feelings. Just always remember that. That's something I've learned part of my oil journey. I guess maybe my oils helped me realize that, but it's a nice feeling. So some oils that blend well with Melaleuca are going to be, it has like an herbaceous, like green, like planty kind of smell, obviously because it's a plant. So it kind of goes with other invigorating and refreshing oils such as like peppermint, eucalyptus, and lemon, things like that. Sorry, I'm just readjusting here. Okay. So I really like this recipe to share with you guys. It's a do-it-yourself clay facial mask. So you want 2 teaspoons of bentonite clay, 2 teaspoons of apple cider vinegar, 1 drop frankincense, 1 drop melaleuca, 1 drop lavender. So those are basically, frankincense, lavender, and melaleuca are basically kind of like the 3 oils that I always go to for skin. Those are my like go-to skin oils. They're all very healing. They're all very gentle. So I'd always recommend that to you as well, is go to those first whenever you're dealing with something. So you just combine the clay and the vinegar in a bowl, stir until well combined. If you want a thicker mass, just add an extra half teaspoon of the clay and then add your essential oils. Apply to your clean skin, avoiding areas obviously around your eyes and mouth, and let it dry like 5 to 15 minutes or so. And then rinse with warm water and follow with moisturizer. And your skin will feel amazing. So, are you guys ready to move on to the blends? We're almost done. We just have a few more left. And these are like some of my favorite things ever. So I'm definitely really excited to share this with you. So, let's start off with my favorite blend, which is On Guard. So On Guard is also known as the protective blend. It is like the best immune supporting blend there is. It's created to support the immune system. So I use it every day for wellness, prevention. I use it on my daughter. I think that has a lot to do with why we never get sick and we never go to the doctor anymore. We never even have to take over-the-counter medications anymore. I mean, we're doing pretty good over here, which is nice. But On Guard is definitely a big reason for that. I diffuse it, I take it internally, I apply it topically. I use this all the time. So it's a blend of individual essential oils. So the blend that it is, let me make sure I got this all right. I don't want to forget anything. It's got wild orange, clove, cinnamon, eucalyptus, and rosemary. Some of my favorite essential oils. It smells good. It smells warm, spicy, kind of like cinnamon. It's actually such a powerful blend that doTERRA has used it to make all kinds of other products, such as the On Guard whitening toothpaste. There's On Guard cleaner concentrate, which is like the best thing ever. So is the toothpaste. I love the toothpaste. There's On Guard foaming hand wash. There is On Guard laundry detergent. So you name it, there's something On Guard about it. So some of the uses of On Guard and its benefits, it's one of the best-selling blends. Like I said, it protects against environmental and seasonal threats, and it's the ultimate immune booster. It can be taken internally on a daily basis, or you can kind of up it whenever you feel like you're getting sick. Once again, it's also great for cleaning. So you can just add some to a spray bottle with some white vinegar, and you are good to go. I like to use the cleaner concentrate. I just add like a tablespoon or 2 to a glass bottle and some water and the cleaner concentrate, and that is my house cleaner. I love it. So when you diffuse it, it helps to cleanse, purify the air. It can be very energizing, uplifting. It's really great, I think. Well, obviously it's great in the winter and everything because that's kind of like the 6th season, but also because with the cinnamon smell that it has, it smells great. So I like to really diffuse it a lot with white fur during the winter. So On Guard and white fur is a really great diffuser blend. Another fun thing to do with it is, especially for kids, toddlers, whatever, soak some sliced apples in water and add a few drops of On Guard, and you have like a healthy immune boosting snack. So I think that's really cool. I actually might have to make some of that later for my daughter. So let's see, some of the emotional benefits of On Guard, which is the protective blend. It's the oil of protection, and it aids individuals in warding off energy parasites, domineering personalities, and other negative influences. It's incredibly helpful for strengthening the inner self along with the inner resolve to stand up for oneself and live in integrity. So it works well for personalities who have weakened boundaries due to some kind of personal violation to their personal space. It gives someone the strength to say no, which surprisingly a lot of people have problems with. I mean, sometimes it's hard to say no to people, so this can really help you with that. It cuts away unhealthy connections such as codependency, parasitic relationships, emotional viruses found in negative group thought. So the recipe that I want to share with you on Guard is one of my favorites. Actually, my friend Lauren, I saw, was making some of this yesterday. Everyone that tries it loves it. It's a do-it-yourself natural hand sanitizer. Super easy to make. I carry like a little 2-ounce or 4-ounce spray bottle in my purse all the time, especially with a toddler. I'm like always spraying it on her. But basically you just get a 4-ounce spray bottle. Make sure it's glass. Add a tablespoon of aloe vera gel, 20 drops of On Guard, and then some distilled water. And I like to even add a little bit of vitamin E oil because it kind of gives it a little bit like a more skin soothing, softer feeling. I like the texture it gives, so that's pretty cool. The next blend we're going to go over is Digestin. It kind of is self-explanatory. It's a digestive blend. It's meant to help your stomach, help any kind of digestive issues you have. There are tons of people on my team that have had just absolutely amazing, incredible results with Digestin. I mean, people that have like chronic stomach problems and like IBS, things like that, this can really, really, really help. And if you have little ones, babies, kids, anything, this is like your lifesaver. When my daughter was just born and, you know, she had gassiness and things like that, and, you know, if you've ever dealt with a baby who cries and is so miserable, there's so much pain and all you want to do is help them. And, you know, you don't really want to give them just all this medicine that they have at the store. So just a couple drops of Digestin on her stomach and that got rid of everything. And I can remember, man, I can remember how helpless I felt. How helpless I felt whenever she was like that. And then I can remember like the aha, like amazing moment I had when she had relief within like minutes. And I mean, it's happened for me. You know, if I get an upset stomach, I just put a little bit of this on there and that's all it takes. So it's really, really amazing. You know, it can also affect how your body utilizes the nutrients that it takes in. So, I mean, it really can help on all levels of your digestion. It's got a blend of all the tummy taming. Sorry, I'm just getting a little more comfortable. So it's got a blend of all the tummy taming essential oils. So you have like ginger, peppermint, tarragon, fennel, caraway, anise, and coriander. And they're all developed specifically to support efficient digestion. This is a really powerful blend. So some uses and benefits, you know, it reduces bloating, gas, occasional indigestion. Sometimes we eat meals and dessert. Sometimes, like all the time for me, we eat meals and desserts that we tend to overindulge in, leaving us with regret and serious stomach discomfort, like Christmas, Thanksgiving, things like that. So having Digestin on hand is really, really helpful to promote, you know, feelings of feeling better, basically. Not feeling like a total gross pig like I do sometimes. So not only can it support a healthy digestive system, but it can also really, really help with like nausea and feelings of queasiness. So if you take some before like a long car ride or boat ride, especially in the mountains or something like that, you can enjoy your experience without having that queasy feeling. I remember when I went on a cruise one time. Oh my God. I went on a cruise one time and I was seasick for like the first like day. If I'd only had Digestin, I probably could have enjoyed my cruise a little bit better because it's no fun to be stuck in your cabin when you're on a cruise feeling sick. So some of the emotional benefits of Digestin, it's the oil of digestion, cannot talk today. It has a powerful quality to support individuals who lack interest in life in the physical world. So the individual may have a tendency to bite off more than they can chew by doing too much at once. I know that I've been guilty of that before. So when an individual is fully overwhelmed and overstimulated, they may lose their appetite for food and the physical world in general. You know, you kind of just like tune out. So they may become apathetic about their situation and begin neglecting their body's basic needs. I also am guilty of that. When I get really stressed out, I don't really eat. I lose my appetite. So Digestin can help with that. It can help increase your appetite if that's what you need. It also increases the individual's ability to receive new information, new relationships, and new experiences, and to be open to new possibilities, which I think is always awesome. Who doesn't want to be open to new possibilities, right? All right, so we only have a few more left. Just two, actually. And then we're all done. Okay, so going on to another staple that I think everybody has to have. It's called Breathe. It is the respiratory blend. I think it's pretty self-explanatory, simply by the name. It's a blend of laurel leaf, eucalyptus leaf, peppermint plant, melaleuca leaf, lemon peel, ravensara leaf, cardamom seed essential oils. So it maintains feelings of clear airways, easy breathing. It minimizes the effects of seasonal threats. It can be applied topically to the chest, back, bottom of feet, and diffused at night. I actually really, really, really love to diffuse it in my daughter's room at night, even if she's not being stuffy, because it just really helps promote like restful sleep. So if you or maybe your partner or someone snores and you deal with that, diffusing some Breathe at night might actually really, 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 really help that. So it's a good thing to try. Now, I do want to make a note and let you know, Not all oils. So like I said, doTERRA oils are up to standards that can be safe to ingest, but not all of them are meant to be ingested. So the way that you can tell that, I just want to point this out really quick because Breathe is not one that's meant to be ingested internally. It is to be used topically or aromatically through diffusion. So the way that you can know the difference between that is if you look at the back of the bottle, I don't know if you can see this, but you see like supplement facts. That lets you know that you can take this in internally. This is lemon. You can take lemon internally because of supplement facts. Breathe is a blend that's not meant to be taken internally, and when you look at the back of the bottle, you're not going to see that. It's not going to have that label there. But if you ever have questions about that or anything, ask whoever signs you up with oils or Google it or whatever, but definitely don't just take any oil internally because you think you can. You might end up in the hospital. Well, I don't know if you'd end up in the hospital, but it wouldn't be good, whatever would happen. So just don't do it, basically. Just trust me. So it can be applied topically, like I said, at nap time, bedtime, if you're dealing with little ones. The bottom of the feet is always really effective, especially for smaller children, and it's really good for when you have a stuffy nose. It actually also has some emotional benefits as well. It's known to address the ability to let go of grief and pain, which is a surprising use. Not many people know that, but it's actually a really, really great oil when dealing with grief. So when you feel basically like you're suffocated by sadness and you have a heavy burden on your chest, it can kind of help you feel opened and enlightened and kind of take that weight off of you. You know, the root of the condition of feeling suffocated by sadness is the feeling of being unloved. So basically the individual is grieving the love they never received, or they're grieving the love that they miss. And this blend can actually really help with that, surprisingly. It encourages individuals to release the grief and sadness and receive genuine love and healing. And it also supports one's relationship with the higher spirit, whatever that may be to you, and deepens one's connection with life. It teaches people to let go, you know, breathe out, and to receive, breathe in. It's also another one that I love to diffuse during yoga, or really just any time that I'm working out, because it helps open up your airways. So if you're like me and your ass is all struggling and you're like out of breath and everything, this can at least help you a little bit. Maybe at least help you breathe, but it won't make you a better athlete. You kind of have to work for that one, unfortunately. I wish that wasn't the case. All right, and on to our very last blend that completes the top 10 essential oils. This is Deep Blue. This is like magic in a bottle. It's for aching joints, sore muscles, any kind of pain like that. It's also really great for very, very intense headaches that maybe peppermint alone won't take care of. I know people that deal with like migraines and stuff like that. Whenever someone has a really, really, really intense headache like that, you know, you can put some Deep Blue maybe on the back of your neck. Whenever I'm dealing with like muscle tension or anything, which is kind of all the time, I use Deep Blue. Deep Blue is my best friend. So it's a blend of wintergreen, camphor, peppermint, ylang ylang, helichrysum, blue tansy, and blue chamomile, and osmanthus. Sometimes I can't say words. I'm sorry. What can I say? So it's really perfect for athletes, anyone with chronic pain, muscle pain, joint pain, that kind of thing. People that have, you know, like lower back stuff, whatever. So after long hours on the computer, you can try rubbing Deep Blue, you know, on your fingers, wrists, shoulders, neck, any kind of, you know, swelling, inflammation, things like that. When I was pregnant, I had really bad, oh my God, like really bad wrist pain, and like with the swelling and everything. And so I would put a little bit of frankincense, which is really great for inflammation, and then I'd layer Deep Blue over it to help with the pain, and it helped a lot. So if you deal with any of that, this is an oil that can really help with that. And I know how painful it can be, and it sucks. So if you need help with that, just let me know. But yeah, just a few drops, you know, combined with some of the fractionated coconut oil that I mentioned before, can be great for a really good massage. The carrier oil, like the coconut oil, helps cover just a bigger space of, you know, like mass of body or skin or whatever. Because these oils are so volatile, they're volatile aromatic compounds, which means that they will evaporate quickly. So if you dilute it with some of your coconut oil, you'll keep it from just drying up and evaporating quickly, and you'll be able to get it into the skin and cover a bigger space. So a Deep Blue massage it's the best. It will help anything. You can apply on your feet, knees, before and after exercise. People that have like shin splints, things like that, seem to get a lot of relief from that. Also for children, it's been so long that I don't remember, but for growing pains, if kids have growing pains that you're dealing with, you know, you can just drop a couple drops with some carrier oil, coconut oil on their legs at bedtime, and that will kind of help with that. And then also just using on your lower back, you know, after a day of heavy lifting or during a move or any kind of, if you slept weird, which is usually my problem. Yeah, basically that's it. So Deep Blue is kind of there for all of your physical pain needs. So that kind of concludes my little presentation for you guys on the top 10 essential oils. I really hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that you got a lot of value out of this. My goal with doing this, you know, these classes, this open education series that I'm doing is available to anyone. You know, I'm doing this for my own doTERRA team, but really this is for anyone. If you're on another team, if you don't use oils yet, if you just want to learn more, if you're already a veteran, whatever it is, I just want to share what I've learned. I've been using these for about 1.5 years now, and I've become pretty obsessed, I'm not going to lie. So I do a lot of research, and I've had a lot of practice with using them, and I see the power of these, and I see how they can be incorporated into everyday life, and I just want to help people feel that way too. I mean, it's a nice feeling. And, you know, like I had mentioned in my last video when I introduced myself, I was never someone who was very health conscious. I was a total party girl. I did not care about what I was putting in my body. I was not trying to eat organic. I was not trying to like do whatever. I did not care. And I guess it took having a baby maybe to open my eyes and change that, but now that I have, I've seen that it's actually really easy to just kind of switch everything out. So that's kind of where I want to leave in conclusion. I guess I should let you know that these top 10 oils that I talked about today, they are available. You can buy them bundled together in starter kits with doTERRA. There's a few different options. There is the Family Essentials Kit, which is our most affordable starter kit. And that comes with all 10 of these oils that I mentioned, all the top 10, but they come in a little 5 milliliter bottle. So just to give you kind of a point of reference, this is a 5 milliliter, this is a 15 milliliter. I don't know if I'm holding that right, but obviously one is smaller than the other. So this has about 250 drops. This has about 75. So you can get the Family Essentials Kit, which has all 10 of these oils in the smaller bottle. You can get a Home Essentials Kit, which is the next step up. That is the one that I started off with. It's the one that I recommend to everyone. It kind of gives you everything you need, and it also includes this diffuser back here. I don't know if you can see that. That is the doTERRA Petal Diffuser. I love it. It's my jam. I have like 5 of these. But that comes with your Home Essentials Kit. So the Home Essentials Kit comes with 10 of the top 10 oils, the big bottles, and then you also get one of the diffusers. So you're kind of set up to have everything you need to get started. But if you have questions about the different kinds of kits or anything like that, or getting oils yourself if you don't use them already, definitely please reach out to me, or if you were invited here by someone else, please reach out to them and they can definitely help you get started. So that concludes our first class for my new educational series. So I'm going to be on here on my page live every Wednesday and Saturday at 10:30 a.m. We're going to have some fun classes coming up. It's going to be stuff like this. This one kind of ran a little longer than I had planned. I guess I ramble a little much. Whoopsie. But I promise that I'm going to try to keep everything around 20 to 30 minutes usually. So it won't take forever or anything. But I have a lot of really great information to bring to you guys, and I'm really excited. Saturday's class will be great as well. I'm going to cover doTERRA's 30-day detox, cleanse, and restore. I actually just started it the other day, and my team is doing a group cleanse together with it. It's basically a 30-day program that involves some oils, some of the plant-based supplements that doTERRA makes, and it's an all-over body detox. It's very gentle. I have chosen to do it in conjunction with the Whole30, and a lot of people choose different, like, clean eating plans. You don't have to. Obviously, you'll get better benefits if you follow, like, some kind of clean eating diet, but definitely not necessary. So anyways, we have this group cleanse going on. You can join at any time if anybody wants to partake in that. But I will be back on Saturday right here, 10:30, and I will be telling you a little bit more about that. So thanks guys so much. Thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate and love all of you, and I just really can't wait to keep bringing this awesome information to you and sharing these absolutely amazing oils. So thanks again. Y'all have a great day.